Visitor actions is what exactly did your visitor do on your website while they were browsing the website. And what you're trying to do here is you're trying to find patterns to identify if there's some problems or not. Now, this is something similar to, I advertise ClickTail,
Right.
which is right here, which can actually record what's going on with your visitors. This is just as good as ClickTail, except it's using logs and just reading the data just without seeing the activity on the screen.
Okay.
So, and you can see, where they came from. If you're ever going to do like paid traffic, like pay-per-click, it's going to show up under here as Google AdWords, but all of this is organic. See, some of this is Google Shopping, for example.
Okay.
It tells you if they registered instead of a visitor ID, it'll give them your email, their email, tells you what browser they used, and you can sort if it's mobile or not. So what we're trying to pay attention to is two things. What the people that actually made a purchase, what did they do on your site? The people that browsed your site many times, like over 5 actions, what exactly did they do? Can we see a pattern how we can improve their experience on the website? And those that browsed only like 1 or 2 pages, why did they leave, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to sort to see like the highest number to the lowest number first, and let me just jump to the highest first. So now you see whenever there's an email, chances are the guy bought something from you, which is why his email is even in the system. And you'll notice that anybody with many actions, like at least, in this case we have 16, it doesn't mean that they bought something, but they registered.
Yeah, that guy, I know he hasn't bought anything.
Okay. Anyway, well, like this guy, look, he returned. So this particular log file says that he's not new to this site. He returned because he was here once. Then you can click on it and we can see what he did. So he ended up on the home page,
Right.
searched for Yamaha, found this particular one, spent 15 minutes on it, then went to contact us, stayed there for 30 minutes. Now, I'm not sure why, this is on 2/13 at 1:50 p.m., which is a Monday.
Afternoon, too, 1:50.
Right. I don't know why. Maybe he tried calling. Did you speak to this guy or not?
Robert Ellis, yeah, I sold him. He was
Oh,
he was sold.
so he spoke with you on the phone.
He spoke with me on the phone and also chat too. So
Right. So you see what happened here? Like how cool is this? Like
Mhm.
it actually tells you, okay, he found the product. He spent 15 minutes on it. I'm assuming he was talking to you on the chat. Then he stopped chatting with you, and then he's like, wait, I have more questions. And then he clicked contact us, and then he called you for another 30 minutes.
Right.
And then I guess he hung up with you. He went back to the homepage, searched for the same thing again, added it to the cart,
Mhm.
checked out, bam. You saw exactly what happened here.
Right.
So you can kind of predict on what happened with somebody who didn't buy it, right? So let's look at this guy. This guy is searching for bikes, BMW, just searching, and didn't really, I think he just didn't find what he was looking for. Let's see this guy. He landed on the homepage, clicked bikes, BMW,
Mhm.
found this one, spent 2 minutes on it, and went to a different product, different product, different product, different product.
Mhm.
Went back to bikes, saw. I think he's clicking on the same thing. He has a 1200, I guess.
Yeah, I think he probably is looking at the R1200.
Right. So let's say that he's looking for the 1200. Let's say I'm not going to go through each one, but let's say that you find a pattern that like 10 different people did the same exact thing. They looked at the 1200 and didn't buy anything. Maybe there's something wrong with your 1200. Maybe the description, maybe the price. So you want to go to that product and see why he would do that, and kind of come up with conclusions and see if you can improve it, and then see if the pattern keeps repeating or not.
Well, one of the things, and I've complained with Ramus about it, is the lack of information that they give you for their
Right.
products. You just don't get information. You get generic crap from them, even when you go to their site in Austria. So I don't make stuff up for customers because then you're going to get called on it sooner or later.
Right.
Like I'm trying to deal with this guy now, and he wants to know technical information about this exhaust, and Maximoto over there, they can't provide it to me.
Right. Right.
And it's just like, come on, guys, this guy, I've got him to commit. He's one of those guys that's going to check everything out before he buys.
Right.
If I don't have it to give it to him, then he's not going to buy it.
Here's one that registered. Did he buy anything from you? New Zealand? He reached step 1.
No, he didn't. I emailed him.
Right.
Hey, we can do this, but it's going to cost you so much money to mail.
Right.
And he hasn't got back to me. So
Let me look at the guys who only came to you twice. Went from articles. Basically, look, here's the deal. We identified that anybody with at least, how many? 15 actions
right.
potentially could make a purchase, right? Robert Ellis, right? 17 actions. He made a purchase, right? It could be a safe conclusion that anybody above 17 actions should theoretically be a customer if everything is perfect.
Right. Like,
so we missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We missed like 30 customers because something was there that they didn't like. Obviously, if it's a money situation, there's nothing we can do about it. But are we 100% sure that it's a money situation, not something else?
I'm thinking it's something else. So
right.
And it has to be the information that's available.
That's what I'm thinking as well, because, you know, this guy here, like 42. I mean, he's in Australia also, so that plays a role, I'm sure. You know, the shipping. Let me look at a U.S. guy, like Norway. You have a lot of international people. You might want to see what options there are to ship directly from Europe to the customer, like do a drop ship from Austria directly to.
They won't do that. That's
who won't do that? Maxmoto or Remus themselves?
Well, Maxmoto tells me that Remus themselves.
Well, don't talk to Maxmoto. Talk to Remus directly.
Distribution.
Contact Remus directly. Remus AT. Mm-hmm. Ask them directly, and if they say no, then find a distributor in Europe that's willing to do that. Well, you know, I'm sure there's distributors in Europe that would be willing to drop ship, knowing who you are.
Okay.
So you just have to find it. But, like here, look, this guy, 21 actions from United States. Are you noticing something? That some visits are from visitor-generated SEO, that feature that we've developed? Like when people search for something, we automatically create a visitor-generated SEO page for you using that search term. And it seems like people, from the first time, reuse similar keyword terminology. And then the website is found because of that.
Well, that's good. Feature, yeah.
He came in, clicked on the home page, clicked on Sport Exhaust. Okay, so now look, this is a great example. He's comparing the difference between the three exhausts.
Right.
Content-wise, maybe it's an idea to have a comparison chart on all three product pages comparing the three. What's the difference between the three?
If there are, in fact, three for this car, he may just be searching because he thinks there might be another one. You know, it may,
exactly. Yeah. He didn't select his car yet. He just kind of, you know, that went to the home page.
Then he ended up on the 530.
530. Clicked on the product, added to the cart. Look at that. He actually added to the cart, but did not check out.
Yeah, I email all those guys. If I see something sitting in the cart, I will email them.
But he added it to the cart. He has not registered his login yet. You haven't even seen this guy yet. Because we allow you to add something to the cart, and you know, it doesn't mean that you haven't logged in yet, so you don't see the abandoned order.
Okay.
It's an abandoned card, but we don't have his email to treat it as an abandoned order yet.
Okay.
So he didn't check out. I guess he checked shipping. So or maybe he just like went like somewhere else, and then clicked on the home page, searched again. I don't know what's up with him, but it seems like he went back and forth a few times. I don't know. Oh, I see what he did. You see, he went from 2000. This might be, like, you might actually want to reproduce what he's doing.
Okay.
To see if there was a problem with the website. I mean, maybe it was just a temporary problem, but maybe he had a problem checking out. Because you see, like, he's repeating the same thing over and over again, which is weird.
Well, I know that there are issues with the website, you know, like when you're doing searches for something. My experience is too, but it kind of like gets caught in a loop, and you can't do anything. You know, you can't change your vehicle. You can't pull up additional vehicles.
If there is an issue, then, you know, you need to let me know. But how do you reproduce it? Well,
right.
This guy has an exact steps of how he experienced it. So maybe you can try to reproduce what he did. And if you experience the same thing, that there's a loop somewhere. Take a screenshot of this so you can actually try this out.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Here's a guy who, this is what he searched for. Where to order Remus mufflers in Austria. Do you see this?
Right, and it popped up us.
No, he actually searched that on your website.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you might want to see about dealing with somebody in Austria and actually showing like a map somewhere on your header saying that we have locations in US and Australia and Austria and UK, since that's where your traffic is coming from. You know what I'm saying? You can close more deals. You could have closed another 10 orders possibly.
Okay.
I mean, just because you have one supplier in US Next Motor does not mean that there's no other suppliers anywhere else in the world. This guy also, see? So basically, look, it's safe to say, see, like all of them added something to the cart, see? Which means it's safe to say that if you have 17 actions or more, these are potential real customers. These are not like just guys who are like window shopping or accidentally came to your site. These are real people looking to buy the product, and for some apparent reason, whatever it is, they didn't buy it. So this is your focus group that you really need to focus on every month and try to identify why did they not buy it. And as long as you can, even little tweaks that you can improve. If we didn't see this, we would not have knew that there are so many international buyers trying to find products, adding it to the cart and not buying it, right?
Right.
Now you know there's a problem with this. So you're actively going to try to find a supplier in Austria and UK and so on and make it aware to these visitors that you can ship anywhere in the world for a very affordable price. Speaking of affordable price, maybe you can even make a deal with Bongo US because they ship to Austria and all these other places for a very competitive rate. You might even say $100 shipping, and we'll ship you the exhaust from California all the way to wherever you need it in Austria.
Are you ever going to add their app to the site?
Eventually, yes, but I mean, you can still do business with it without, just get an approximate dollar amount and just use them as a shipper instead of UPS.
I have a guy up in Washington, USA to you, and he's out of Netherlands, and he does that for us on a few.
Right. In any case, the main thing is that you know there's a problem now, and you're going to try to fix it. And once the problem is fixed, now these people that abandoned the cart last month might not abandon it anymore, and that's how you grow the sales with these visitors and with this website.
With the international market. Okay.
Right. Now, literally, I can sit here for hours looking at this, and obviously there's new data coming in every week. This is if I was running this business. I don't do this right now. You sit every week for at least, you take at least an hour or two, and you spend time on looking at your analytics and trying to understand what the customer experienced, especially the focus group customers, like the ones that spent more than 17 actions on your site.
Okay.
And eventually, you're going to start coming up with ideas you never even thought of on how can you improve their experience. Maybe it's a navigation experience. I had an instance where the guy was not making any sales. He was selling wheels and tires, and after we looked at the behavior of the visitor actions, we identified that customers were looking at wheels, then they were leaving wheels and looking up tires, and then not buying anything because they weren't sure if that wheel will go with that tire.
Okay.
He forgot to bundle his wheels and tires. I mean, it's like a 5-minute thing in Shopping Cart Elite. He forgot to do it, and now he's losing at least 5 customers a day because he was having like 20,000 visitors a month come into his site. And there was at least 3 customers that wanted to buy something, but they had a very same pattern that wheels, tires, and didn't buy anything instead of bundling it together. There are trends that the pricing are too high, or there's just not enough information to convince them to buy it. So he's sitting there for 15 minutes on the product page, and he's just not buying it. Well, why would he spend 15 minutes on your product page and not buy it? Because either your prices are wrong or you don't have enough information to sell him on that product. That's why he didn't buy it.
On the Ramus site, yeah, the prices are the map. That's how I...
Right, but I mean, there's ways around the map. You can always offer a coupon code, which is a store discount, right? Register today and we'll give you free shipping, or whatever, there's ways around map. But I'm not even talking about map. I'm just saying that maybe it's just too much money for them to invest. They're not saying the product is not competitively priced. They're just saying, I don't have money for this product, but they're in the market to buy it. So maybe financing is an option, right? Like the financing guy that I put in the announcements recently, he does financing for anything over $500.
I contacted him. He called me back and said he only does it for tires and wheels.
I know. You have to get the owner involved and tell him that the owner said that you can do parts as well. So get me the owner if you can't help.
Yeah, because we have this option available, and I'm going like, And then he calls me because he's right here local, too.
Right. I think you should call him again and just tell him, look, I know you're doing wheels and tires, but Igor told me that you guys can do parts and I need to speak to someone else. If you can't help me, who do I have to speak with?
All right. Well, what do they charge for the fee? What's their...
It's different type of financing. There's two kinds of financing. You can do the GE financing through GE Capital. They're more like a credit card type of deal, where if you get approved through GE, it's basically like getting a Remus exhaust shop credit card type of deal, and they just charge you an 18% APR on your purchase with zero interest in the first 6 months or some incentive.
Oleg said he had a GE thing.
But this is a different type of financing. This financing is more of like a house mortgage, where this is the monthly price you have to pay. There is no minimum or maximum that you can pay. This is just the monthly price, and you have to pay it for X amount of months to pay it off, and that's it. That's the price. Mm-hmm. And usually the way they price that out is they say, okay, let's say the product is $500. Let's say you're going to pay that off in a 2-year term. So similar to how they do the mortgages, where your APR is 25% during the 2 years. At $500, you owe us, $125 a year divided by 12 months. So $10 every month is owed towards the interest.
Right.
If you take $500 divided by 24, it's $20 a month for the actual product, the principal. So you might come back to the customer and say, well, it's going to cost you $30 a month for the next 24 months to buy this product, and that's it. You just give him a $30 price, mm-hmm. and once he signs it, if he does the math, he's actually paying like $740 for the product, not $500, because he's paying the interest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different from GE because there is no minimum or maximum. There is no credit card. It's just, this is the price, this is the monthly payment. You got to make the payments for this amount of time, and you'll be good.
Okay. I'll check with them.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, that might also be why they're not buying it, because they just don't have money right now, and you can say, well, finance with us today, and we'll get it for you,
Okay.
Well, that's what I wanted to show you today. Do you have any questions? I mean, do you understand how this works?
I understand how it works. Just a lot of time, so...
Yeah,
time.
Yeah. I mean, Oleg doesn't have time, but maybe you can get, like, if he does have time, maybe you can show him how this works, if he has time, and have him help you identify some patterns. If not, then just take a day in 1 month and go through all the stores, including your own. Try to identify that.
It sounds easy.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I got plenty of work to do. I basically got to shut myself off for about 2 weeks now and do the Remus price update.
All I hear is you keep doing Remus updates. Is that? I mean, what's up?
It just takes so long. The motorcycles took me 2 weeks to update the pricing. Plus, I also fixed it, and then I added some. And I still haven't converted it to the car model yet, because when I started, there were motorcycle models missing. So I didn't want to do you one at a time. I wanted to do it all, then give you a great big list at the end and say, here. But at least I got the pricing update done on the motorcycles. Now, with the pricing update with the cars came through, and that's a 100-page spreadsheet. You got to do a lot of figuring. And plus, the applications on the Remus site, where they were loaded, don't give you the true story. So the customer is having to either ask a lot of questions or get frustrated because he doesn't see the right answer there.
Right.
And I know that. And I've been fixing as I've been going. As I find an issue, I'll go back and I'll fix it, especially if a customer calls me. Then I know what they're looking for, so I'll go to the website and I'll fix that product. But there's still an awful lot of products there on the car side that are in deep trouble. And I think that's part of our problem, too, is that it just takes so much time to fix this stuff.
Right.
The more information the customer has, or if he doesn't have to search or make a phone call or do a chat, and if he has that information sitting in front of him, he's liable to buy. If he has any questions at all, then, I might lose him because he calls me on the phone. I may not have the answer right away. I may have to research it, too.
I think you're going to have to get a contact in Remus Austria directly, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Get somebody there that can help you, because tell them that Max Moto is great, but not that great.
If I can get a hold of Duffy, that's fine. But by the time it takes me, say, here, customer, I got to make a phone call. Let me research. I'll give you a call right back. I've lost the customer, right? I've lost that customer. Not all of them, but some of them I will lose because I don't have that information for them right away. It's something I have to get from Duffy, or I have to get from Patrick on the motorcycle. Some stuff fits a bunch of motorcycles, but that's nowhere around. Patrick has that information in his head.
Right.
It's just amazing. Okay. Well, enough of my woes. I'll get it.
All right, Wayne.
At least I'll learn about Remus. Okay, cool.
All right, I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.